What up? Yo. Alright, so we're going to start the episode. Ain't nobody here yet, but that's why I record them. Welcome to episode 27 of Chop 15 with Jay Walker. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. If you don't know what Juneteenth is, I suggest you do a little Google search because it's a very important day in American history that you probably don't know about. What I'm going to do now is introduce my guest. He is a person I've met when I lived in LA. We're both actually from Sacramento. We met when we worked at Sam Ash Music Store, and I always thought this dude was super smart, super musical, just a dope dude. He knows a lot about engineering, producing, playing music. And now he went from LA to Atlanta, and he's doing his thing down there. It's the legend of Keys, Gerald Keys. Let me bring my boy in. What's good?
Yeah.
How you been, man?
What's up, my brother? I've been great. I've been blessed. Happy Juneteenth.
Yes, happy Juneteenth. Good to see you, man. How you been? You been good though, huh?
Man, I've been great, bro. I've been overly blessed. Just been working. I think last time that we actually physically seen each other was like in 2015, 2016 or something like that.
I left LA in 14, so that was like probably about the last time I seen you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. How you been, bro? You got married and everything, right?
I've been good, man. Just staying productive, trying to stay focused on things and dealing with everything else that's going on right now. But no, I've been good, man. I've been real good. Been following your journey.
Right.
And
I appreciate it, my brother.
It's been awesome to see all the things you've done since fucking Sam Ash, man. Like, it's been dope, dude. How has life been for you with everything going on, since like COVID hit and all that shit? Like, how has it been for you down there?
Man, it's actually been for me personally, like, really dope because I've gotten a chance to actually experience things on a higher level. Luckily, working with Luda, there's a certain level of we're gonna figure the shit out kind of situation.
Right.
And so we actually recently just prematurely launched Kid Nation, which is a platform that literally is like a Spotify for kids music. And all the records sound like records that we as adults listen to. You know what I mean? It's not kids bop. It's not none of that. It's literally jamming ass records that, the adults will want to listen to in the car with their kids or at home with their kids.
Okay. Man, that's crazy.
So yeah, it's COVID's been doing that. I've been having a good chance to, spend time with my wife. I made a year in April with my wife. So
I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you. So we just been chilling, man, and figuring this new world out as the new world is developing.
Yeah. So family wise, I know you're in Atlanta and I know you still got family in Sacramento. Have you been in contact with everybody?
Yeah.
And everybody's good out there?
Man, everybody's been great out there, man. I just talked to my dad yesterday. He actually called to check up on me because everybody's checking up on me and my wife because we're here in Atlanta, which is like the mecca of everything happening, the test grounds for Black people. Mm-hmm. So, but everybody back home is great. I'm actually going to be out in Sac the end of the month I get like a week and a half of like a little vacation time. So I'm going to take that and going to go to the West Coast and go see my wife's family, see my family or see my family in Sac, see her family in Arizona, and then hit up LA for like a day or two. So, just trying to make the best of it, man. Like, there's a lot going on. And like I said, the world is totally different right now. And trying to go back into the world being antisocial is, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely having I'm kind of reserved about going out and being in like super public spaces again. It just doesn't feel like it's time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
but I understand that you got to
I know
kind of get the
California.
economy going, but at the same time,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got y'all locked down out there still. Yeah.
Kind of. I'm in Reno. I live in Reno now again, and they started opening up shit. They're on what they call phase two. So bars are
Uh,
open, restaurants are open. They reopen the casinos. Um, but
nigga,
it's like
I think we
capacity is
started
like,
on phase two.
yeah, pretty much.
I think
But
Atlanta opened straight into phase two. Like Atlanta, they let everything open.
man,
Strip club, bars.
the strip clubs are open.
Oh yeah, everything's open, bro. Everything.
Wow. Yeah, they fighting for the strip clubs out here. They ain't open. They fighting for them though, but it ain't open. That's crazy. So what? Or like strippers
Yeah.
stripping with masks and shit? Like how's that going down?
Man, nice. It's renegades out here. Hey, nothing. Hey, COVID's not even gonna stop a dollar.
Yep. That's the sad truth though.
Listen. Right.
Man. So how is the situation down there with all the protests and stuff? Because I know a lot of shit's been happening in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I've been
Oh
seeing
yeah.
things. Who's like how is it out there in your perspective?
Nah, man. It's obviously the tensions are very high, but I think they're equally high, just like every other place. You know what I mean? Everybody's fighting what they believe in. Everybody's. It's actually cool to protest now. It's trending, so
Yeah.
people are doing it. I just feel it. I feel like it's unfortunate that people don't know the difference between black owned businesses and businesses that are happening, because I went downtown not too long ago, and man, so much stuff was boarded up, broken and everything, and it's like, some of these places, I personally know a couple people that have businesses that have been looted or destroyed in the protests and all those different things. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing where it's like I'm glad everybody's being activated right now, but at
Yeah.
the same time, some of us get caught in the line of fire, friendly fire, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you seeing all these kind of, to me, it seems like setup situations where like bricks are just showing up and things are getting
Yeah.
broken by people that don't look like they're down for the cause.
Oh, bro, that's a whole nother conversation where there's different phases to that conversation, right? Like
Yeah.
it it can get there. We all have a very subconscious and conscious understanding that there's other things at play other than just the passion from people wanting justice and reform. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Shit is crazy, man. Shit, man. So it's crazy that you ended up getting married, bro. Like you just got a year. Shit. I married my girl, same girl I was with in LA. We're 9 months now. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So how's married life been?
So congratulations, my brother.
Thank you.
Man, it's been great, bro. It's been it's I understand now how some people go through life not wanting to grow up, you know what I mean? And then there's like people that have to grow up and they benefit from it.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, to sum up my marriage experience, it definitely has been uh, it's been the reason why I have the opportunity to, like, elevate past myself. Because that's the one thing I was, me from back in the day. It was like, I'm doing what I'm going to do, and whoever has a problem with it, that's just your problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of forces you to start thinking outside of yourself. And as my brother Chase, like he put it in the good terms of stop trying to spin the world and just let the world spin around you, and
Yeah.
having that kind of mindset. So that's definitely what my experience has been like. And quarantine has definitely, um, put us in a space where we get a chance to be closer and bond more and figure things out more and strategize as a couple. Being newlyweds, we still kind of have that because we weren't together like super long prior to us being
Okay.
married, so we didn't have that what does us look like kind of situation moving forward,
Got it.
and we got the chance to figure that out. And it's definitely been a blessing. So like I said, I came out on the better end of this whole COVID situation. I didn't catch corona, got a chance to chill with my boo, and I
Oh,
got
you
to work
did?
from home. So no, I said I didn't. I
Oh, I
did.
thought you said you did. I was like, oh shoot.
No, false. False.
Okay.
No Ronas over here.
All
Look, I
right,
don't even
man.
drink beer no more because of Corona. Listen.
Oh shit. That's funny, man. So, when did you get your start in music? I know you. It's been something that's been like in your family. Was it a church thing? Did you
Yeah.
start in church?
Man, it's crazy. My dad actually has been playing since before I was born. My dad's been in the band and playing guitar since he was 14. And so I always grew up with my dad playing around the house. He never like, was like a heavy serious musician or wanted to be a producer or anything like that. It was just always around, and good music was always just around. And the curiosity for wanting to make music started when I was about 10.
Okay.
And then about 16, it all started with DJ Quick. My uncle introduced me to DJ Quick's music and told me, oh, he makes his own beats, he raps, he does this and that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty dope, not being serious about it. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I did the whole rapper thing growing up. You know how SAC is. It's like you be in the streets moving around, and everybody either you're good at playing basketball or sports, or doing something in the streets, or you making music somehow, some kind of way. So I did the whole rapping thing for a very long time, all through high school. And then I had in 11th grade, I had an audio visual class, and we used IMAX and all this other stuff, and there was
That's dope
garage
that you had
band.
that in school. Like that they actually taught you that. Like that's dope.
Yeah, it was a brand new school. They were trying a lot of different things out, video editing. It was like that kind of like we were like the first wave of teaching kids how to do video editing in school and all those
Yeah.
different things like that. Class of '05. So in that class, one of the parts of our project was to make music, original music for the things that we were shooting. And so I stumbled on the garage band, started putting loops together. I was
Mm-hmm.
addicted. And so I was like 16 at the time. So from that point on, like I would spend my lunches making beats, everybody's hanging out, chilling. I'm staying because I had that class right before lunch. So
Oh.
the teacher would just let me stay in there. He saw how passionate I was about, just making music. So I was just putting loops together, didn't know nothing about no musicality, no
Yeah.
music theory, anything of that nature. Just
Mm-hmm.
curiosity. Yeah, and then it just kind of progressed into me figuring out, how to produce. Got my first job at Guitar Center when I was 18. That obviously helped me, my knowledge base, my understanding of the audio visual world. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, church had a big thing to do. We started going to church very seriously when I was like 16, and getting me involved in AV and knowing a lot of the church musicians, and my dad being in the band at church, put me in that space to step my musical skill up and my ear up. But yeah, it all started between 16 and 18 in regards to like when I took it serious.
Crazy, man. So now I know you told me back in the day that you had went to Atlanta previously before you went to LA, right?
Right,
You went for
right.
school? Was it school that you went for? Or?
Yeah, well, school was the excuse, right? Like I was stuck
Okay.
in SAC. Like the quick story is, yeah, I was maybe 20, 22, and I was just stuck in SAC, couldn't get a real good job, had like a case situation going on. And just like anybody in any other city that is at that time, prior to YouTube being popular and all these resources for making music and all that stuff like that, you get to a point where you're practicing your craft so much, but you're not getting anywhere because there's no resources, or there's not the correct matching talent, or just the system set up for you to be able to go to the next
Right.
level. And so I just when I got to that point, I had some friends that were in Atlanta, and Atlanta at that time was growing. 2 Chainz was on the rise. Like there was just Future. I don't think Future was even out yet all the way, but there was just a lot of stuff. Travis Porter was going crazy. There
Yeah.
was just a lot of opportunity in in Atlanta, and Atlanta was never like on my list of places to go. LA, I always wanted to just stay West Coast with it, but I had some friends in Atlanta. I didn't have any friends in LA, and I took a trip just to visit them, and I fell in love with it. And me and my squad of writers and producers and artists at the time, there's like 6 of us. We took a trip by meeting some people on MySpace at the time.
MySpace. Shout out
And
to
it was like
MySpace.
hey, shout out to MySpace, man. Networking game started at MySpace, and we met some really dope producers, Grammy award winning producers. Just building a rapport with them, and they say if you're ever in Atlanta, pull up. And bro, we all booked tickets and went to Atlanta. We pulled up, and yeah, that's what got me there. So when I got back to Sacramento, I had to figure out something because my parents weren't really believing in my music dream that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I wasn't going to school heavy. I was going to school like junior college. So I was like, yo, I found the school. Let's apply for these loans. Let's do this, do that. And my parents were like, cool. I don't want you moving to Atlanta, but if you're going to try to go university level 4-year degree kind of thing, we'll support it because it's better than you staying here and getting caught up in whatever's going on.
Right.
And so, yeah, I finessed my parents to, sign off on some loans and get me to Atlanta. And I got to Atlanta, got my apartment the first day. I hit the homies up. I got my keys. As soon as I got my keys from my apartment, I hit the homies up that were working at the studio. And at the time, they were signed to Coach K, who's now the head of QC. So I was working out of their studio from day one of me being in Atlanta till the time I left. I was active.
You worked with a lot of artists too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was like the engineer to the writers more than I was engineer to like artists or producers. So I got my training grounds on, being the guy that tracked vocals for everything for all these writers and learning different writer styles. And at the time, I was learning how to make beats better and learning from all these different producers. So people like, Brian Michael Cox, Polo the Don, Drummer Boy, Bangladesh. Like I'm going into all these different people's writing sessions by hanging out with writers, and I'm getting a chance. Nobody really knows that I produce or anything, or I'm trying to be a producer. They just know me as being the engineer. So I'm just soaking up so much game from just being in the rooms by being the engineer. And I had a car. That was another thing too. I had a car. So a lot of my homies didn't have cars, so they would call me for a ride to the studio. And luckily, because I gave them a ride, wouldn't charge them gas money, I get to stay at the studio and soak up all the game.
Dope. Hey, any way to get up in the session, bro? Like,
hey, it's not about how you get in the room, as long as it's about you being in the room.
Yeah, that's real deal. So then Atlanta, you come to LA. How did that transition work?
Okay, so from Atlanta, I was in Atlanta for maybe close to 2 years. Things just started getting a little weird, and I started getting kind of like cocky with my skill set, where it was like I learned so much in that year and a half that I wanted to go back. I had this genuine thing of like going back and like teaching people, because I figured out why Atlanta was successful and then why Sacramento wasn't successful. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to Sacramento and like, help everybody that I can with this music stuff, artists, producers, engineers, just game everybody up and, try to put plays and plans together so we can try to build something. And then that didn't work out. I was there for I was back home for like a year and some change. Ended up just, working for the city and working with park and recreations, working with kids, because I was always like a job thing that I did was working with kids. So, and I had a ceiling with that. It got back to the same thing. It was like, I'm in Sacramento again. Ain't nobody listening to me. I'm giving everybody $1 million worth of game and nobody's listening. And I'm not making the money I should be making doing music. So then I just said, forget it, man. I had ended up just getting a car at the time. And I knew my job was going to be coming to an end because I wasn't passionate about it. And the job that I had at the time for the city, they could tell I wasn't passionate. So I knew I was getting fired soon. So I just ended up, I just ended up moving. I ended up just packing up 2 suitcases at the time, and just I left, bro. I literally the day that I found out I was getting fired, I packed my suitcases. 3 days later, I'm in LA.
Crazy.
And I didn't have no place to stay. I didn't have no real plan. The person that said I could stay with him, once I got to LA, they were like, nah, I changed my mind. And,
That's some fucked up
it just
shit.
it was, man. It was, the one thing that I did do right was I, during that time, I was looking for job opportunities out in LA. So I was on Craigslist, I was on all these other things, and I found a temp job situation. And I was like, okay, cool. As long as I got some income, I don't mind staying in my car. I just need a way to have some money to be able to get around and figure things out. Because if I'll figure out who I know in LA. You know what I mean? Like LA is not too far from SAC. I know some people that went out there. I got people that travel back and forth. I was making plays in LA every once in a while during that year stint I was in SAC. So I was like, I'll figure it out. So I just went, bro, and I ended up in LA. And then maybe I was sleeping in my car for a good 4 months, just
I
going to
remember,
work in the
bro.
morning, washing up in
I
bathrooms.
remember, dude. Like, and
Yeah,
I just admired your fucking your drive. Like, fuck it, dude. I'm about to go out here. Oh shit, what up, Luda? I'm about to go out here and be like, fuck it. I'm about to just go and I'm about to do what I got to do,
yeah,
and I'm gonna make it happen.
yeah,
And I remember just talking to
right,
you at work, man. Like, you just knew that it was gonna pop eventually. You knew it. Like, you weren't
right.
like, I don't know, it might happen. You were always like, nah, dog, I'm gonna go to this session and watch. You
Yeah,
motherfuckers go, no, they're gonna find out. Watch. And I always
yeah,
admired about you, bro. Like, always.
yeah. The one thing I can definitely say for sure that I've been blessed to have is that I always knew it was going to work because I didn't really have a choice. Like there was no plan B. There was no, I want to do this other thing. It was always like, this is what I want to do. And if I can't do it, I might as well just die. Like, I hate to sound morbid, but that was like my literal thing. It was like, I will go run myself into the mud trying to figure this out before I give up and do something else that I really don't want to be doing. You know what I mean? And so I think it just goes into the principle of believing in something so much that you just have, you have I guess Chris uses a lot, the invisible staircase. You're just taking one step at a time, not knowing if the next stair is going to actually pull up or whatever. But hey, you're
Right.
just doing it. Sometimes you take one step and you end up 2 steps back. Sometimes you take, those 2 steps back in order to push you 5 steps forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything was trial and error. But yeah, I mean, that's generally my story, and what I try to push to everybody is, belief and having true faith, like to the point, like biblical faith. Like, if you read stories in the Bible, I can equate to some of my situations in life to situations in the Bible where it's like, you should give up, but it's there to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, because I know I feel like I've always had confidence in myself and what I wanted to do, but LA is a tough place, man, and that can really it can fuck with your psyche a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
can't say that being around you when we work together and just seeing how like focused and passionate you were about your shit, that shit rubbed off on me and it made me believe, you know what, I can do what the fuck I'm trying to do too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to believe that
No, I
shit.
appreciate that, bro.
You know?
Straight up, I appreciate that. Yeah,
So
that was, good.
how did you end up back in Atlanta and then working with Luda? How did that happen?
Man, so funny story. I'll tell you the very condensed story because it's a long journey that led up to it. But
Of course.
so within maybe year 3 of me being in LA, I ended up working with some amazing producers, people that became family, and I helped them like build their studio, help work out of their studio, and then just built a relationship to where that became our home studio. And
Okay.
so the owner of the studio actually used to be Luda's engineer for for pretty much all of his career. I'm assuming from what he's told me. And so um, one day, from if the story's correct, Luda needed to learn Ableton because he makes beats also. Like,
Okay.
this guy like is everywhere with it. So he needed to learn Ableton. I was the only person at that studio that learned Ableton and that used it on a daily basis for all my sessions, all my
Yeah.
production, everything like that. And I also have a teaching background. So I set the studio up with a apprentice situation because I was working at the Recording Connection at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so he knew I was a teacher. He knew I knew Ableton. So he set something up for me to start tutoring Chris on Ableton. And then over time, like maybe like a 6-month period, we just started building good rapport. And so one day he hit me with, I got these things that I'm working on. Can you mix? I know you can make beats. I recorded them for like a remix that he did, and he just saw I had all these, skill sets for when it comes down to audio and production and music making.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gave me a proposition that I really couldn't refuse in regards to being a part of something that is amazing. Now I'm glad, like, the world is actually getting to see now. It's called kidnation.com. And, for everybody that has kids, tell all your friends that have kids, we just dropped a song called Get Along, which is really just expressing a kid's voice in these crazy times where, it's really one person versus another, one race versus another, one system versus another, the people versus the system. There's so much divide that this song Get Along really just puts everything together from a kid's perspective to show us as adults that we need to do a better job of getting along, and hopefully we'll break ground on some emotions and things that parents can tell their kids and have a conversation, an easy way to have a conversation with the kids. And then there's another song called Stay Clean, which when this COVID hit, we had a song in the chamber that was just about washing your hands, staying clean, and so the platform itself is really just a way to educate kids, entertain, and also get adult, participation in that enjoyment in that whole situation, because all the songs are songs, sound like songs that me and you would listen to on our playlist, you know? And so, so I think, once he hit me with that, and his speech was his passion for what he was trying to do just aligned with what my life journey has been so far. Mm-hmm. And that is making music, making great music, and also giving back to the youth. Because I was, prior to making music and during my music making journey, the only real job I ever had and cared about was working with youth and youth development. So it literally was like God just put us together, and it was like perfect. And I haven't had a reason to look back ever since or try to figure out something else, because it was like, it's definitely a legacy journey kind of thing. And I'm happy to be a part of it and be instrumental in, making things happen. So that's how I ended up back in Atlanta, because I was supposed to come out here for 3 months to just work on some stuff and help out a little bit.
I kind of remember seeing you post that. You were like, I'm going to work for a few months. And then I seen again and you was there.
Yeah, man. I dropped everything. Like I literally gave up my whole life and everything prior to make sure that this mission is, sought out the best way, and I can play my part the best way possible, because like I said, it just aligns with what I feel like God called me to do. So, it's easy at this point for me. It's just, doing what I normally do, trying to get better at that. And then also just trying to bring people along. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of talented people that I know and I'm a fan of personally, and any opportunity that I can present through my opportunities, that's what I usually try to do, just because, I like to pass blessings on as opposed to just bearing everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So with the Kid Nation, are you guys writing the songs?
Yeah, I mean, it's a collective. It's a small team, a few writers, few producers. Obviously Luda is helming the whole situation. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're writing all the records, man. Like, that's why I say it's great quality content for adults, because it's not like these kiddie, like elementary little, nursery rhyme kind of things. There's real songs, real topics. It's just geared towards kids to learn from these songs, as opposed to it just being ear candy that they hear and numbness that they're getting from, lyrical content and all that kind of stuff. So we got songs about kids going to the barbershop. We got songs about kids fighting for freedom. We got songs about kids being superheroes, believing in themselves. And they're all jams, though. They're all quality jams.
So is it like a subscription based thing? Is it just you go online and the songs are there? How does
Nah,
it
man,
work?
kidnation.com. Just go on the website right now and you know, listen to the music, enjoy the videos, the video shot to all the songs. So
Oh,
it's
shit.
just gonna be tons of content that's coming. We've been working on it. I mean, he's been working on it for a very long time. Like, I mean, at
Mm,
least 10 years from what I know.
wow.
This for me, I've been working on I've been a part of the team for almost 2 years now. It
Mm,
just actually this month makes 2 years that I've been part of the team.
congrats.
So yeah, man, it's been great to, like I said, to see this. I was actually right before I got here. I just made it back home, but I ended up going to go get some food at this spot for the wife and I. And inside the spot, he's doing an interview on, like, I don't know if it was The View or something like that, and they're
Mm,
playing the video and the song, bro. Like, you know, the song's been on CNN and the
yo,
song's been on so many platforms, obviously, because he's driving the helm and he's pushing this and get along with the song that I produced.
okay.
Me and some of my guys, yeah, rhythm section. So it's one of those things where, you know, doing all this work in LA and Atlanta and working with these major artists, chasing placements and all that kind of stuff, man, it was never it never got me to the heights, or my music or the product that I've been able to create. It never got to the heights of CNN, you know, the View,
Yeah.
the other stuff, you know what I mean? So it just kind of reaffirms the fact that I made the right decision and that what we're doing is definitely going to be world changing, because as you've witnessed, when I put my mind to something, or I'm overly convinced about something, that shit is going to be the highest level possible.
Very true. Very true. Man, so shit, what's next for you? Like besides the Kid Nation, like is there any like what other plans do you have career wise?
Oh man, so as of right now, if we're gonna break this down into the 2 year, the 5 year, and the 10 year, I like to break everything down into those kind of perspectives.
You've been
You
doing that,
know,
dog. I remember you
Luda
saying
and
that.
I, yeah, hey man, you gotta have it, even if you don't like
Mm-hmm.
write it down and, you know, strategize all that way. You still have to have it there subconsciously or consciously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right now, since we're, you know, we're focusing on Kid Nation and getting the rest of these songs out to the rest of the world, I think it's safe for me to talk about the TV show that Chris has created called Karma's World. It's based off of his daughter and her ability to rap and her friends making music with her to tell stories of things that young black girls go through,
Wow.
and, you know, helping her build her confidence and helping her build every single aspect of what our young kids would need today, especially our young black youth and our young black women. Having a voice, you know, a kid to look at on screen. It's animation, and, you know, it's by the same company that did Doc McStuffins, and it's going to be
Okay.
to that level of that. So we've been working on that for about a year now. We're about 2 seasons in now, and it's going to be coming out next year,
Wow.
um, on Netflix, and it's going to be a Netflix original show.
Okay.
And then yeah, man, really just Luda stuff, man. You know, his 20th anniversary, so we're really just focused on getting more records done. We got tons of records in the chamber that, you know, we did the Silence of the Lamb. We dropped that with Timbaland.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the verses. The verses is why we did it. The verses was like, you know, the reaction from people when we previewed it on verses. It was like, this is a no brainer. Let's drop this. And, you know, we got tons of songs with Timbaland in the chamber. So we're just kind of gearing up to see really how we're going to deliver the album for the 20th anniversary. Because, man, like when I say these records, bro, he's rapping some of the best stuff I've ever heard.
Uh-uh. Spinning out.
Sorry,
It's all
yeah, yeah, nah, it's my call. Um, but yeah, no, I've been a fan since I was 14. So, you know, to be front row, you know, only person in the room most of the time at what he's doing, and for me to be at a level of creativity where I feel like I can contribute to that, it's just amazing. So yeah, definitely watch out for that. Go stream Silence of the Lamb, you know, because definitely, like, it's one of those things where you gotta listen to it like 5 times, not because like it's go over your head. He sang so much in there. It's like, you know, when you go back It's like when you listen to Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. You know, you got, like, I still to this
Yeah.
day listen
Certain
to it and I
albums are like
find new
that.
stuff to pick apart. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Well, yeah,
on
I mean,
that level of lyricism.
he's always been a
Double,
top tier
triple
dude. He's always been
entendres.
that kind of
Even
level of
Wayne on
MC where, you know, it's gonna be intricate, it's gonna be detailed, and it's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? So definitely looking forward to seeing what's coming.
yeah. Yeah, no, it makes my job easy, bro, because oh yeah, yeah. No, we got a few records together. We got one
Mhm.
in the chamber that's, I mean, when I say out of here, out of here, like I might get my own private jet after this record comes out. So, you know, it's just been that kind of feeling, that kind of work, man, you know. But yeah, that's, I mean, that's really it, man. Like, overall goal, like, if we go on, like, that was a 2 year, the 5 year, and then the 10 year is really just kind of being an executive level where I'm just able to help out opportunities for people, man, connect resources to talented people, and
Yeah,
I think I'm on track for that. You know what I mean? I think I'm on track for that, really, really smoothly, and just patience and learning at this point. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Patience is the
yeah.
name of everything in my life
Well,
right now.
damn, dog. It's been fucking great to talk to you. I'm not gonna keep you too much longer, man. I really appreciate getting a chance to catch up with you and hearing about everything you're working on. I'm super excited to go check out the Kid Nation with my nieces and nephews. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
looking forward to checking out this new music computer, man. Like it's just gonna be dope. Are
please.
you producing
Yeah.
anything, or are you just recording and engineering it?
Yeah. No, I'm everywhere with it, bro. I'm producing, co-producing, engineering. Like, once I'm in there, I'm, you know, it's whatever my role is
Yeah.
supposed to be for that song. You know what I mean? So it's, I generally have my hands, even if I didn't, you know, physically produce on it, I still have my hands over just about anything that his voice is on, just for the principle of I'm the
Right.
only me in the
Right.
situation. So,
Well,
you
damn,
know,
brother. It's like I said, man. It's been great to see you, dog. I'm not gonna keep you too much longer, but man, I'm gonna have to get your number, man. We gotta make sure we keep in touch, dude. I'll DM you after this and get your number. Um, it's
yeah,
been great to fucking see
no,
you.
most
I
definitely, bro.
hope,
Tap in.
hopefully, when this COVID shit ends, I could actually take a trip to Atlanta because
Most
I've
definitely.
only been to the airport. I haven't actually got the ticket, so I gotta come really see what it's about.
Yeah, right. Oh man, yeah, you definitely got to pull up out here, bro. Yeah, nah, it's definitely good, bro. You know, I definitely want to say, bro, I'm happy to see you living a happy life, because that's the only thing that I really want from everybody. And, you know, as long as obviously you're doing this and you continue to, you know, pull more people into conversation, which is always great. And so that just is a, you know, a showing of you have enough to give out to everybody. Your cup is so full that you
Thank you,
just want to
man.
give to
Thank you.
everybody else.
Yeah,
So
I'm just
that's
it,
dope, bro.
it. It just seems like the natural thing to do, you know. So why not, you know?
Yeah, you always been one to try to give some game, bro. Obviously, once you got comfortable in your training position, bro, and you was working, you used to be over there in the corner like, yeah, just passion, all the passion, trying to sell something to somebody. But you was actually, you know, like rapping with them. To even point, they didn't buy nothing, they still
Yeah.
kind of wanted to get it
That
because
was from watching
you
you,
gave
man.
them
I
up
didn't
so
used to
much.
sell. I didn't start selling equipment until I got there. I just knew about equipment. I never sold it. I was just watching you hustle. I'm like, man, I got to get like this dude. Money over here.
Right up,
Well, shit,
right
man.
up.
All right, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you, man. You have a great day, man, and keep doing
All
what you're
right, all
doing.
right.
I'm definitely proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, and shit, man. We gonna stay connected for sure. Okay, got
Appreciate
you,
it, bro.
man.
Yeah, text me your info or DM me your info.
Have a good one. Love, man.
All right, love, bro.
All right. Well, shit. I would like to thank my guest, Gerald Keys, aka the Legend in Keys, for just telling his story, man. He's got one of the best stories that I've ever come across as creatives and dope people that I've met in my life. And to see where he's at now after where he's come from, it just goes to show, man, everybody's journey is different. And as long as you believe in yourself, you'll get to where you're supposed to get to. You know what I'm saying? He's living proof. I feel like I am too, but that dude's on another level with it, man. So that's it for the week, man. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I will be back on Monday with another 5 interviews for next week. It's just gonna keep the ball rolling and keep talking to as many people as I can. So thank you guys for checking it out. The interviews are all archived on IGTV, and they are also on my website, jwalkermedia.com. If you haven't been to my website, please check it out. I got beats on there, motherfucking all the videos, all the work that I do. So you can check that out as well. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Stay safe, stay aware. I'll see you on Monday. Peace.